Hey there Seeker, welcome back to Wild Lotus Tarot and to your weekly tarot reading. I'm going to be back with you face to face really soon. I have been pretty sick over the last week, so I'm still recovering but finally feeling much better. Guys, please do like, share, comment, subscribe. It really helps the videos go further in an algorithm that's not really that supportive of small channels like myself. I would greatly appreciate that. Also, all the links that you need are below the video should you want to follow my social media. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram and on TikTok. Also the link to my website should you want to arrange a personal reading, you can do that as well. Also have the info on the decks that I use and the music on my tracks as well, as I often get asked about that. So let's go to your reading, guys. Have a wonderful week. Bye for now. Hi there Libra, welcome back to Wild Lotus Tarot and to your weekly intuitive tarot reading for April 19th through to the 25th. Libra, let's check out and see what might be on the cards for you. Getting started here with the Work Your Light Oracle, then be going to the Moonchild Tarot and using the Rider-Waite-Smith Classic and the Star Child Akashic for the tarot positions. So let's get one more of these. Yep. Okay, Oracles, Libra. Oh, trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, Libra, what would you do? Now that means, you know, beyond the scripts and the stories and limitations of the mind. Like if you had enough money, if you felt like you were in the right place, you were the right age, you felt like you were intelligent enough, you know, all the things that we tell ourselves that we're not, then what would you do with your life? You know, how would you choose to live it? And I know that sometimes we do have things like financial constraints and things like that, but you know, it's really important to keep dreaming big and not limit ourselves as well. Some of you may have started moving towards a new calling or a path, and if so, it's saying trust your path, keep walking it, because just, you know, possibly, Libra, you're about to go through some kind of fundamental gateway here. Warrior woman, have you answered your deepest calling? Well, there you go. That's what we're talking about. So if you haven't already started some kind of movement towards your purpose, your passion, your deepest calling, maybe it is time. I notice that this is the Ace of Swords that the warrior is holding here, and the Ace of Swords is about claiming your victory by knowing that you're living your truth, living in alignment, life feeling like, you know, you're moving with ease, grace and flow. You know, it still has its challenges, but we know that we're not feeling stuck and like it's pushing uphill, all that kind of thing. Maybe it's time for you to start moving towards your truth. What isn't in alignment with you, Libra? What could you remove from your life? What could you move away from in order to begin calling in, you know, your purpose? Let's go to the Moonchild Tarot. Get one card for a lead tarot energy. There we go. All right, we've got two. I'm going to honor that. Page of Wands, and what is hiding behind here? Oh, Judgment. Well, there you go, guys. The big guns. Oh, sorry, that may not be very much of a good saying. I'm sorry. I do apologize for saying that. Okay, so Judgment here means that, you know, there's some kind of divine wake-up call or some kind of, you know, final kind of judgment on a situation in your life. It really can be this feeling of wanting to liberate yourself, wanting to launch out of, you know, the constriction that you find in your life, the limitations, the devil energies, the toxicity, that kind of thing. It could be just time to really walk a new path, right? To move into a new chapter of your life. This is the second to last major arcana, which is about the Fool's journey from naivety to enlightenment. And, you know, it really says that maybe a situation in your life is ready to complete, like move it across to world energy, the cyclic completion, because you might be nearing a karmic lesson that has been learnt, and we don't need to go around for another cycle. The Page of Wands is interesting. It's rediscovering your passion, purpose, desires. It's kind of like that feeling where you might have been a little bit, you know, out to sea, alone in the desert, where things haven't really been happening. You kind of feel like there's been a dry spell in your life, and then all of a sudden you are discovering new growth and new passions and getting ready to move towards them. And there's a, you know, a certain kind of time into that where it's like, I really want to move in this direction, you know, rather than staying where I am. It's like an awakening. The Page of Wands is also a card of good news. If you're waiting for the verdict or some news over a judgment type situation, that could be coming in as well for you. So Libra, let's go to the tarot. Beginning with energies of the recent past, Libra. Beautiful card. I've got the Empress. Now she actually links to Libra and to, this is coming out as well, so I'll take it. She links to Libra and to Taurus, and I have the Queen of Pentacles here, which is Capricorn in the Minor Arcana. Let's see what the clarifiers are for that. But I'm going now for the current or focused energy. There we go. Every sort of new birth, new beginning has an ending, guys. Outcome. The Star. It's coming out a lot at the moment. Aquarian energy from the Major Arcana. And it follows on from the Tower and the sequencing. And I have the Nine of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Oh, that was just a drop, guys, so I will take those back. Wasn't holding the intention. Right, let's clarify the Empress. Magician. Amazing. Okay. Clarifying the Ten of Swords. I have got the Tower. Well, there you go, guys. That is definitely a really big ending there. The Hermit, Virgo in the Major Arcana, number 9. That is Judgment, guys, again. Ten of Pentacles and Knight of Pentacles. Six of Swords at the bottom of the deck. So we have really strong ending and transition energy here in the reading, Libra. There is a real sense, though, that this is by your hand. You are going to need to be the one to make this move, to speak those words. It's over. I'm leaving that job. I'm moving to a different location, whatever it is for you. It's time to kind of, you know, make it happen is what I'm hearing here. It's judgment time. Absolutely judgment time. This is called Awakening, this card, but it's actually the judgment card of this deck here. And it really is because there are new things that are just, you know, bursting at the seams to come in for you. The Empress and the Queen of Pentacles. The Empress is really a card of blessings, abundance. You know, it's really saying that whatever is playing out, even if it feels quite heavy, it is a blessing because it's moving you onto your best path here. It's really time for you to acknowledge that you're overcoming some fundamental challenges here. I mean, the Queen of Pentacles links to the Devil in the Major Arcana. This is about transcending and transmuting those kind of limitations in your life, refocusing your energy, and really getting back to creating that sense of stability, security, home, and all those things that you really want for your life. There is a sense here that we're really wanting to create that kind of nurturing sort of energy, a softness, a divine feminine kind of energy, maybe after a period where things have felt a little bit harsh. That's what's coming through. The Empress also says that it's actually time for you to create what's on your heart, what you truly want to in this life. There is no better time than now, and the saying that is coming through, which I heard recently, is if not now, then when? When is the other time? When is tomorrow? And why isn't today a good time to start? And I know why we resist. You know, we resist because we have to make bold moves, right? Six of Swords. It shows somebody who, with a heavy heart, is kind of moving into the unknown, into the fog, with nothing. So there might be something that you're really having to leave behind. There might be financial implications. You could be needing to relocate away from family. You could be, you know, leaving a job that, you know, had so much promise at one stage. The same could be said about a relationship. And that is why we kind of put things off, because there's always pain and hurt associated with transition, or, you know, those feelings of kind of, you know, melancholy feelings. Some of you might have had 2 significant hurts in the recent past. It's 2 groups of 3 of Swords here. But it's saying, you know what, if you are worried about, you know, abundance and that sort of thing, the Empress is really here to say, you know, things will be okay. Things will work out. But with the Tower and the double judgment cards in this reading, it's like we need to go through this, and if we resist, it's going to persist. That's what I'm really feeling here. So we'll sort of come back to that. I'm going to come back to the Magician. Judgment card again. This is your awakening. I have had the awakening to the fact that, yeah, you need to make a big decision about this situation, whatever it is for you. There's not really another cycle to be gone around here. If we go around for another cycle, I think we'll face the Tower again. Generally, when we kind of resist change that's knocking on our door and we stay in a situation beyond, you know, the karmic lesson, beyond when the contract should have finished, we end up just a little bit further down the track facing the Tower again. So the awakening card is saying, you know, this is the awakening to the fact that you need to close the door on a situation here. And I feel that it needs to be at your hand. You know, we've got the Magician, the Tower, and the Ten of Swords here. The Magician is really the awakening to the fact that you have everything within you to initiate this change, Libra. You know, and the Magician knows that it's only through your inspired action that you create change. If we just wait for circumstances to create change around us, we often face the Tower and we face painful endings. So we want to actually intercept it before we get to that stage. Like, for example, a friend of mine once said that they wanted to break up with their partner, but they didn't, you know, didn't have the courage to do that. So they basically just, you know, withdrew the love and the energy and created circumstances so that the partner would break up with them. And I think that's just a very cruel thing to do to a person, and it's really just not operating in your power. So as the Magician, you know, you will rise to that challenge and you will, you know, cut yourself free from what you need to, and know that there's great growth within that as well. So that's what I'm sensing. It's like, you know, sometimes we just have to operate in that fear zone. Otherwise, you know, we can get into this kind of, you know, energy where someone feels really hurt, where we feel someone might feel deceived, you know, there's a sense of burnout, there's a sense of sabotage here. But the Ten of Swords is really a final ending, and it's really saying that the situation that you're leaving behind or being encouraged to was a house of cards anyway, Libra. You know, the Tower talks about something that's built on a shaky foundation. So it only takes like things to get a little bit hard and that tower begins to fall. Really, we want to release those things, and then, you know, from a new foundation, we can rebuild, and we can rebuild twice as strong. The Tower is an act of love and grace from the universe to align you to your best karmic timeline. Can feel really chaotic. You know, generally we want to step in and take the steps towards change before this happens, but sometimes, you know, we're human and we don't do that. I also feel like the Tower, like it can be a big revelation. So I think it's the big revelation that, you know, that something's got to give. We're coming to an ending. There's that new dawn, that new day that is bursting on the horizon, Libra, and it wants to come through for you. I love seeing the star here, Libra, because the star is the major arcana that follows on from the Tower as the great soother, the calm after the storm, that encourages you to heal and reground yourself, tip out and process the emotional charge of the past, and keep the hope and faith for the future. It really talks about beginning to plant new seeds, lay that new foundation to move towards your universal alignment, towards your divine wish fulfillment. And I feel that that's the foreshadowing here. So I've got the Knight of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles. And the Knight of Pentacles is a rebuild energy. It's a foundational energy. The Knight of Pentacles in the rider version of this card is this knight on a horse who's looking out over the land that he or she has worked and put the blood, sweat and tears in, and has prepared it to take the new seed. And that new seed has the promise of growing and sprouting the more you nurture it and invest in it and love it, through to the 10 of Pentacles. So there's a sense of being able to build your best life reality, but it is step by step. It's going to be a slow burn like it always is. We can't expect things to go from 0 to 100 after a Tower moment. So you've got this real universal rebuild opportunity here to take steps towards the life that you've always wanted to, out of the rubble of the Tower. The Hermit card here called Serenity, I mean, this can also mean that there is a healing process or a time that we need to go within to self-reflect and to process. And it can kind of mean that we might be in a little bit of a, we might feel a little bit alone, before we really figure out the next move, before we really start seeing the new path. And then, of course, we've got to walk it, and then we've got to learn to trust it. So it's a process of working yourself out of the situation is what I'm really feeling. The Nine of Wands over there, you're so close. And there goes Judgment again, guys. So out of 3 decks, we've got all of them showing. You're so close to putting that last wand that the page holds onto the stack to release a great weight, a great burden, a great energy expend that has been slowly eroding you, and really being able to concentrate on healing and rebuilding and keeping whatever your heart's desires and your true wishes are, so that you can begin creating the life that you want. So out of every Tower is a true blessing, Libra. Okay, Libra, well, I'm going to leave it there, and I hope you enjoyed this intuitive message. Do keep in mind it's a general reading for the collective, and it may or may not be for you. Feel free to drop me a comment, guys. I read them all and do my best to interact with you all over there as well. Helps me get to know you guys, connect with your energy, and see what's happening out there in the collective. Has been a pleasure, Libra. I will see you back here for another one next week. Bye for now.